What's good, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for episode 2 of Blowing Loud. I am your host, the Parisian. Back with me again is my magnificent co-host, the illustrious Moshe. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great, man.
Good to see you.
You too.
Ready to bring you guys this episode. I hope you guys got something rolled up, baby. We're going to come to you live in 3, 2, 1. So what we smoking today, Moshe?
Today we're smoking a couple strains, both from Veritas. Cherry Hills is Appalachia and Cherry Pie with Granddaddy Perp. Okay. It's got a unique kind of reddish tint, almost like a cherry. Okay. You know, kind of looks that
reddish
way.
Tint. Interesting.
It does, yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
It's got a pretty sweet taste.
Let's check this out.
It's a hybrid. Both of our strains are hybrids today.
Nice. I fuck with hybrids. Something to smoke all day, you know? Yeah, I'm definitely getting the sweet smells. Apparently it pairs well with golfing. Fellas,
we love golf.
Yeah. Me and this man used to hit the course all the time. What was it? The par threes, the par fours?
We need to get back to that. We're not really great. Not great, but we love golf.
Yeah, Green Swag. If you're watching this, please give us lessons. I love you. Yeah, this says hand-grown, harvested, trim, packed in Denver. Love local weed. Shout out to Veritas again. Tastes great. Definitely get the sweet taste, just like the smell. I love when my weed tastes like what it smells like.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
The other strain that we're smoking today is Lemon Pepper, also by Veritas. It's a Rick Ross collab.
Nice. Lemonade and Rick Ross. Lemon Pepper. My man owns a bunch of
Wingstops.
Let's crack this open. See what we're working with. And we have that packed up in the bubblers, right? The lemon pepper.
The lemon pepper we've got in the bubbler over here. And
wow. Definitely getting that citrus sweet, but definitely get where they're calling the pepper. It's got
it's got a spicy undertone.
Yeah, like an earthy spice. Yeah.
Very crystally.
That is, I like that weed. I can't wait to taste that one.
Yeah, let's give that a taste. So, Parris, you've been up to a ton of new things with your music career. Definitely would love to let our audience and homies know what you're up to now.
Indeed, yeah. I feel like it's time for me to start building myself. I've last 10 years been playing with a bunch of different groups and started a group called the Tomorrow People in Chicago, but revamped it here in Denver with my man Isaac. Shout out, baby. Yeah, it's a duo, instrumental soul. I don't even really want to call this. It's not even instrumental. It's hip hop soul. We both sing. It's kind of hard to describe your music in a genre, but you'll have to check us out. We'll have some music. All the music you've been hearing in the previous episodes was us. So
they're amazing, guys. If you haven't seen them, go see them. If you haven't listened to them, listen to them. You're only doing yourself a favor.
Album coming out very soon. We just decided to release it in September. Also got a solo album coming out. There were some songs that didn't make the album that I was like, they have to still be released, basically. So I have a project that I'll be releasing called Gold. I haven't put a release date on that yet at all, but
we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of mixing and mastering with Chris Carnes. Huge shout out. Chris Carnes is an amazing human, fantastic DJ, internationally. He's won these international DJ competitions, DMC competitions. I think he won in 2011. Yeah, he lives here in Denver. He's been kind enough to teach me what he knows about mixing, and he's been mastering the Tomorrow People album. He's been mastering my solo album, and just huge shout outs to Chris. He's a dope ass dude. Our guest today is a 2-time Grammy nominated musician. He has produced for 50 Cent, Talib Kweli, Redman. He's toured with the Average White Band. He's toured and nominated for Grammys with John Scofield.
Lettuce,
of course. the man, long story short, is a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Deitch. This is crowd claps happen, baby.
The legend himself.
Oh my God. We got these big ass crowd claps. We need like the biggest yet.
What up, man? Thanks for having me.
This is for you, good
Oh,
sir.
appreciate
Do your
that.
thing.
We always make sure our guests have a joint. You know, it's a smoking show. You come on, you got to smoke one.
This
No
thing
doubt.
is so
And if you
dope.
get hungry, you could boil the filter and let's make
Exactly.
some pasta.
maybe get high again. You know.
Facts. Yeah, man. So what you been up to? What's popping?
Man, just good to be here, man. Just working on a lot of music, man. Getting back to touring. Omicron's going down, you know. Music's going up. Omicron's
Boo,
going down.
Omicron.
So we could get back to doing what we do. You know.
Facts. So before we get into the current, I want to step back. So when did you start playing music? At what age?
Both my parents are musicians. They both play drums, keyboards, sing. My dad plays guitar, bass. So they had me on a drum set and piano simultaneously from like 2 years old on.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's what's
It's
up.
amazing.
And you immediately gravitated to, I mean, you still play both, which is amazing. Not many people know. I mean, if they do know, maybe they do. But you write a lot of the music in Lettuce. You're not just like
Facts.
the drummer playing the beats behind the shit. You're actually the composer behind a lot of the songs that people hear.
Yeah, my dad always had a studio in the basement. He had the reel-to-reel recorder, you know, 4-track thing, and then he got into MIDI, and he was recording all his stuff to a computer in like 1989. This Amiga computer. He had the studio, and he also had this thing called MIDI Tech, where he set up like all these like crazy samplers, and he had like, you know, they did it for kids at elementary schools to introduce sampling as an art form. In like, I'm telling you, the late 80s. We have videos of it.
That's
in
crazy.
the house. It's crazy. It's called MIDI Tech.
Wow.
So the joke is break science is like the modern day MIDI tech. So we do it at parties, you know. Like,
right.
He did it as like informational, like, you know, let's hear a Bach concerto with animal sounds, as opposed to the kids would freak out. They you know,
Never heard the combination.
Yeah, they never heard like animal sounds, you know, singing like a famous classical piece. So kids were like, wow, you know.
Right.
So I kind of grew up in the studio, my dad's basement. So creating music and writing was kind of natural, you know.
That's what's up. Crazy. Yeah, I personally didn't start producing my own music until maybe 7 years ago. I, again, had always just kind of played whatever the people had needed me to, kind of hired gun style.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd always, of course, listen to music, and finally had gotten the courage to be like, you know what? I think I know what a song should sound like.
Yeah.
I think I can put something together, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's been great ever since.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of your beats, man.
Bro, I appreciate you. Seriously.
I had a piano fall on my leg in 7th grade. You know, it's like I have a scar going all the way down my bass drum foot.
What?
And I was moving up. I was playing the piano, and I would just move it out just so I could get back. It was in class, and I play all the songs, you know, show off and shit, you know, play some tunes. And the piano started to wobble like this big upright piano. And I was like, oh, let me push it back against the wall. And it started to fall. And it would have killed me. It's like it weighed a ton. You know, I'm a little kid, you know. Yeah. And I got out of the way in the last second, and it just took out my leg. And there was a clarinet case that fell, you know, underneath it that kept it from pulverizing my foot. I would have to get amputated. You know what I mean? Like, and it just broke my leg in half, crack. And I was just like, yo, and I couldn't really.
Where? Where? In your
right on my ankle, right there.
Right at the
Boom,
ankle.
growth plate. It's called a growth plate.
Damn.
So I really should have 2 different size legs, but I had a good surgeon. Shout out to Dr. Assemble.
Hey.
Dr. Assembled me.
Growth plate saved me. I broke my hip when I was 13.
Wow.
And they said that it was like right at the growth plate. So
That's
I was
scary
just supposed
shit.
to rest for months. I
Wow.
was playing kickball.
Amazing.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
That's
I
wild.
had,
Kickball injury.
But yours is definitely more
It
gruesome.
was gnarly, you know, and I
Shit.
couldn't really I just had to play it cool. So like, all, you know,
Had to
people I
play
knew.
it cool.
Yeah, but they brought, they got me in, and you know, my dad is smart enough to take a bunch of pictures of the piano. He came into school, made sure I was cool, got me in the ambulance, and he just like saw the piano, pictures of the wheels, no rubber, all messed up, screws missing on the. Shouldn't have been in the class, you know.
That's real.
So that's what paid for Berkeley.
Hey,
You know, it's a lot of pain, but I had to relearn how to
deal with the devil.
I had to relearn how to play bass drum.
holy shit!
So I used to play heel up because I've been playing since I'm 3 years old, and then I couldn't move my ankle for a while, so I started doing this like stomp whole leg thing,
Whoa.
which gave me like a louder because I was like kind of like, and then when I do doubles, I go, it's like tap dancing, heel toe. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's like get these, I got these New Orleans looking kicks in New York.
Go crazy.
But just like that, and not a lot of people do that. Most people, they play like with their toe and they just slide up like this, or they play with
Use
their
like
heel.
the ball toe.
Yeah, it's either that or the jazz styles where you do heel. You just pivot on your heel. You play quiet, But like this whole thing where you're shuffling, that comes from the ankle break.
Wow.
For the piano. The piano
That's crazy. That's 7.
What's that? I was 7th grade.
7th
I was
grade.
14. I was 14. Yeah.
Damn.
I was skateboarding every day. I wasn't even into drums then, which is hilarious. I was really into skateboarding because it was like social.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. That's where all the homies were.
everyone was there, and the girls were starting to come to the park, and like,
Right.
it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing in my town. So, I was mad I couldn't skate. So mad, but that got me back into drums because I was like, I guess I could play little drums in that basement.
Right.
Like,
That's wild.
You had to do something to kill the time.
yeah,
With
I couldn't go out and
yeah.
do what I wanted to do. And so I just literally drums were like in the house because my mom has a kit. She has these Yamahas, these beautiful black Yamahas that she, like some Steve Gadd looking, sleek, good for the gig, And then my dad had this other kit. Yeah, that was like Thai drums or some other drum. Or no, he had a Tama. I think he had a Tama. And so it's 2 kits in the basement. And it was just like, anytime I wanted to spar with dad or just groove out with mom, it was like they're ready to go.
That's lit.
But dad was always trying to go at me,
You're right. Shuffle it up.
Well, just, crossovers.
Oh, wow.
All that.
Go
as
crazy.
props.
Go crazy. So what inspires you? What's when it comes to the creative process?
I mean, some good Veritas.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Real.
Shout out to them, Denver Kush Club, all the homies out here.
Yeah.
Rap from Native Roots. Just fam.
Yeah.
Green Dragon. But can I say all these?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, all these homies have kept it so
Anybody
real
trying
with
to
lettuce
shout
and
us
break science throughout the years, and I gotta send shouts to everybody.
Yeah. I like to ask people, or my musician guests at least, the road can be crazy sometimes. And for instance, I have been left at a gas station before. This is back in my early touring days. Like, I was in a band called The Herd.
Yes, The Herd.
Yeah. Neil's killing
Shout out to
it right
PJ.
now.
Shout out to
Yeah,
PJ.
facts. PJ, Neil, all the boys. Squid, Taras, Bryant,
Yeah.
Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
Gross. I know you. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
All fam. Chi-town.
Yeah, Chicago boys. But yeah, I was left at a gas station on the road once.
Oh.
Yeah, like I got out of the car. Okay, so this is one of the things. Everyone gets out to use the bathroom at a stop. I kind of lingered, didn't get out when everybody got out. So people were starting to come back. I got out. Regardless, you should probably check who's in the van before you take off. But I go to the bathroom. I come back out. I look. I'm like, damn. I don't see the van. Maybe I'm on the wrong side. I go on the other side of the gas station. No van. I call Mike. I'm like, he answers the phone, doesn't even say it. Immediately, he's like, oh shit, here we come. I'm like, are you fucking serious? You motherfuckers left me?
Insane.
Yeah. So, long story short, the road can be crazy.
Okay.
Do you have any crazy road stories? Any crazy experiences? Any hiccups on the road?
I mean, there's been some off the wall situations. One that comes to mind is we were in the band van, and it's the kind of van where you can't get to the front. They're called a certain kind of van, so like the driver's blocked off. Okay.
Who was we first?
I think it was Break Science,
Okay.
And my boy, shout out to Mike Gibney. He was tour managing us at the time, and he parks on this hill, to, you know, start unloading the stuff. We're sitting in the back. We can't get into the driver's seat. We're, you know, like it's like a thing, you know, it's blocked off.
Right.
So we're back there just chilling, you know, smoking out. And all of a sudden the car starts rolling and ain't no one driving, you know.
Like backwards or
homie
forwards?
left in a neutral.
Oh, shit.
And we're going down this hill.
Yeah, you can't do shit about
and we
it.
cannot get to the front. Like, you can't get up there, you know. So we're like, oh shit, like, what are we gonna, you know, like, this is it, you know. Like, we're going down a hill now, you know, anything could happen. And then you see Mike, and he's running, and, you know, he's a big dude, you know, like, you know, he's, you know, but he, you know, he's athletic, and he caught up, and he hopped in, he grabbed onto it, and then hopped in, but we still hit this like fence that was all wood, like Legos, and just bust the whole fence, bang,
No,
you know, the whole thing, and then we just stopped, and we were like, yo, we good, you know, just one of those, totally driverless going down with a van in the back, but
wow.
Those crazy moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some close calls out there. Definitely close calls.
Yeah, it's just not all fun and you know, it's just, people think, you know, it's just party to party. You're getting drunk and having fun. And
it's travel. You travel for a living. You're a professional traveler. You know, and like getting around without, you know, finding the hotel, dealing with the Airbnbs, the rental cars, the 8-hour drive, 5 days in a row, like the hotel, they're closed. You know, you get to the hotel after the show, the front desk is shut down for the night. Your key is nowhere. You're in the middle of nowhere. You have no gas. Like, you know, all of that. That's why you pay. You know, that it's called dues. And like, you know, the better you get at traveling, the better the road can get at. You know, a lot of people they can't handle all that. You know, and they like, oh, it's not for me. You know. Like, I've luckily had some good tour managers and good band members that were like good at it and could figure it out. And, you know, like, you know, traveling's not easy.
It's just not all fun and games.
It's not all fun and games.
They think it's party to party.
There's an art to it. There's an art to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like the majority of the art is like not needing a lot, not being a needy person, because anything can switch up at any given time. Yep. Nick Daniels, one of the bass players in Dumpster Funk.
Shout out Nick Daniels, Dumpster Funk.
Yeah, he told me personally, like, yeah, you just don't want to be somebody that's needs a lot from anybody. You want to be pretty easygoing in this industry because anything can happen. Like,
you know, and as far as being in people's face on tour, you don't want to be that dude. You want to give people their space. 100%. You know, it's not like they're at your house at a party.
Right.
You know, it's like you got to give them space, like, because it's their house, it's your house. We're all living on this bus. Exactly. And it's like sometimes when someone gets up in the morning to pee, doesn't mean you got to run up on them and be like, "Hey man, I was thinking, but it up." Like, when we get to that song on the bridge, like, you're like, don't forget that they would normally be at home alone
by themselves
or just with their wife or whatever. You know, like you know, so you getting in people's faces, you're gonna create problems. So it's easy. It's better to just let people be. Yeah, let people be, and if they react, you know, they all talk, cool, you know. But like, I try to stay low key on tour.
Absolutely, bro. Same. Headphones.
But I'm making beats in the back. If you want to come hang out, I'm making beats. You know, that's I write at night. You know, after every show, I listen to the show, to let it show, make sure it was okay, and then I start creating. And I start pull out the computer, Bluetooth speaker, little keyboard this big. Go. That's real. And that's where I'm at till like 6
after the shows, you're immediately inspired to.
Oh, absolutely.
To keep it positive.
Well, I'm craving beats. I'm craving electronic. I'm craving the stuff that we do when we produce.
Right.
You know, because Lettuce is so live and horns and big. You know, like
it's such a long show though. Like I'm thinking, you know, I'm not even at your level, but I'm thinking after the show, I'm exhausted.
Nah.
After the show, you're like, yo, let's keep it moving.
I'm super high. Plus, like, you know, the music is definitely rejuvenating and it feels good to play, you know, so I'm definitely hyped up after the show, you know, all the time. And, I sleep pretty well on the tour bus too, you know. It's like
which not a lot of people do.
Well, if you don't know, tour buses, it's like a coffin.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you lay down, it's here.
You get into that Dracula shit. You know, you just lay down and that's it. You know, it's dark. You can put the curtain dark, you know, so that helps me sleep. Like, I feel like, you know, in real life, I'm never in a room that dark. You know, but the bunks are like, you know. But that's my life. But I'm happy to be off tour right now and just get to hang out, do cool shit like this.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what's up. What's good in the world of Let Us Break Science and any of your new projects?
Yeah, so I saw a message from Bootsy during the pandemic of him talking about keeping your spirits up, you know, for musicians that aren't working and, you know, basically like, don't give up hope because you don't have gigs right now. Like, there's a lot you can do.
Right.
It was very inspirational. And at the end of this whole speech, Bootsy starts going, keep that funk alive. Keep that funk alive. You know, and he starts saying these little things in between, you know, little hype things, you know, and I was like, oh my God, I got to sample this. Like, you know, like the producer, you know, beat maker in my head was like, okay, this song needs to happen. You know, there needs to be a bass line and a whole thing to it. So I sampled that off Instagram, put it in Pro Tools, looped it, and came up with a bass part, drums, and percussion, keyboards, guitar part, you know, all the basic shit. And the guys heard it, and then there were spaces, and then I sent that to them, and you know, Benny wrote some great stuff, a horn arrangement, some real out angular, you know, the horn lines for P-Funk, like, they're so cool, man.
Yeah.
There were spooky moments. There were weird scales going on.
Absolutely.
Diminished stuff going on. Like, it wasn't just like straight pentatonic, you know, like, you know, like it was really cool. And like, it was funny and it was funky at the same time. And it was like, you know, they just had like a real, you know, shout out to Fred who wrote most of that. Fred Wesley, you know, the God.
Facts.
You know, but
yeah.
So Benny wrote some great stuff on it, and Zoidus wrote some great stuff, and Shameens came up with the bridge, and then Bootsy heard once that was ready, went to Boots, and shout out to his wife Peppermint Patty, she set the whole thing up, and he just really knocked it out of the park. It was a beautiful experience.
So, man, you've got any crazy weed stories that you want to share with us and our audience?
Man, I totally did, but I'm so high I forgot. I'm just playing. Crazy weed stories. I mean, every time you smoke with Redman, he's kind of like, if you don't know Redman, he's like the Snoop Dogg of the East Coast. You know, like, so when you're smoking with Reggie, it's like it's always a funny and hilarious and music making experience. Like, I've seen him like go to the keyboard and play the bass line the way it should go. I've seen him do the kick and snare pattern the way he wants it. And then, like, you know, just like he's always musical. He has musical ideas, and it's like you're really making a beat with him. And then you see him get in the booth and start barking, and it's just like a wild feeling, you know. But at Bonnaroo, we had, you know, Red and Meth plus the whole Wu-Tang Clan, and everybody was there. You know, it was like we put the band together. It was like Lettuce and Borum and a bunch of other homies. I think we had Pretty Lights was there playing a little bass. Like, it was crazy. It was a wild night. You know, we played one of those big ass tents. And you know, Ghost came out, and we just played. And before and after, we were just smoking and like vibing with them, with Meth and everybody. It was just like a dream. You know, it was weird. I didn't say too much. You know, like, it was just an honor. You know, to be, you know. RZA was just walking around, like, because I don't know if they were talking that much yet. It was like a weird era in their get along status, and RZA was kind of like real mystical that night. He was on some mystical, like just looking at people and moving, and you know, like he was just on some other. He's really that dude, you know. That's real. Jizz is, of course, the warmest, the coolest. Like, you know, we've been working with Jizz forever, so yeah, that was my craziest night smoking, like with, you know, the entire, you know, a lot of the cats from. You know, that was a good night.
I hope I can say some shit like that one day. Wu-Tang, y'all ever want to come on the show? We'd love to have you.
Forever.
Wu-Tang's for the children.
I'm telling you. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for watching. Adam Deitch, again.
Appreciate you, man.
Always a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure talking to you. I learned some shit today. I didn't know you broke your ankle. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. You know, it still works somehow.
Anyway, I hope you guys are as high as we are. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for tuning in to Blowing Loud. We'll see you next week.
Peace.